to go into this personal development journey, because this journey is not for the weak.
Definitely.
I'm just calling out here, family and friends for me, I love them, but in terms of personal development, I don't get enough support.
I feel that during this journey, you also notice who you should let go of. You were vibrating at such a low frequency, and that is what attract the people that we used to call friends.
Used to call friends.
But they are uncomfortable to pursue that. When they see someone, when they know that someone amongst them, close to them, doing that, I want to do that, but why is she doing that?
Again, you want to have a better quality of life, then you've got to let go of things that doesn't serve you anymore. Self-awareness.
You need to understand what you want, what your current problem is.
The self-development journey. There are lost people along the way. It is a lonely journey. Hi, thank you so much for coming again today.
Yay, thank you for having me.
No, I'm happy to have you. So yeah, it's just like because our podcast last time, the episode when I love that part. I love that episode. That is one of my favorite episodes. So today I'm with Sha again, doing another conversation around self-growth, personal development, and our journey, both of our journey. So yeah, let's get started. So my question is just the first question to you. When you are on this journey, the self-growth, personal development, do you feel like your environment around you supports you? Is it a supportive environment for you to find yourself?
When I started my journey, I was in a same place that I had to heal from. So, you know, when we talk about childhood trauma and having to work on our childhood trauma. So after my divorce, I moved back to my parents' place. That was the place that I had to heal from.
That's true. Because that's the part of the childhood, your childhood journey, isn't it? So you just got out and you have to move
back in.
So
it was tough for me trying to heal and trying to grow myself from the place that was hurting me in the first place, the root of it. So what I did was I tried to get out every single day, trying to find a place that brings me comfort, inspires me to keep going. Because if I'm just comfortable in my room at that place,
you cannot grow.
I cannot grow because that was an environment that I had to heal from. That was the root of everything.
Do you think your family, I'm not saying family and friends, kind of like giving you the support to grow, to go into this personal development journey? Because this journey is not for the weak.
Definitely.
It's not for the weak.
No.
Am I right?
Definitely not.
I'm just going to share a little bit of my experience as well. Not pointing fingers or blaming anyone, but I think when I am getting into this self-growth era or journey, it is very difficult to find supportive people around me that wanted to do the same.
Definitely.
I'm just calling out here, family and friends for me, I love them, but in terms of personal development, you wanted to change, you wanted to become that butterfly. I don't get enough support. Like words saying, I don't know, the words like you've changed, like, but not in a positive way. It's more like, why you change? And the look of other people like, what are you doing, girl? Like, for example, my Instagram has changed.
Okay.
I used my Instagram before for just like recording my life. It wasn't more personal, family and friends. I even locked it. And then I started to this journey. Okay. I wanted to share part of my journey and probably inspire some other people as well with some of my posts. And I see the changes of the engagement. If I post a photo of my face, being with makeup, being pretty, a selfie, I would get a lot of likes. Oh, you're so pretty, cantik, whatever is that. But then if I post something about self-improvement, how I've changed, it's dead silent. Like, it's so funny. I don't know what's wrong with that. I don't know. It's because, look, I have no answers, but for me, it's so weird because when I see people wanted to level up their life, which is like, you cut people off, boundaries, you start being more disciplined or whatever you do to level up your life. I'm supporting them, like, go for it. But the people around me, people that I'm familiar with, they're kind of like watching instead of supporting. Yeah, that's right. And I feel like, oh, that's tough. The audience, and I'm not trying to make everyone else is happy with that, because I'm posting not because just for family and friends, but it's just funny that people that you think will support you turn their back, like, oh, now I'm just gonna watch. Let's see what's gonna happen. Is she going to fail or is she going to make it? I feel like there is like a series to watch. How about you?
Valid. Like, it's totally the same. I feel that during this journey, you also notice who you should let go of.
Weird.
It's not sure if it's a bad thing, but sometimes you just have to do that. We meet people before we start on our personal development journey. We meet people when we were at our lowest point. We were vibrating at such a low frequency.
That's
so we were still in our bad habits. We were doing things that were not exactly good for us, not exactly beneficial for us. And that is what attract the people that we used to call friends.
Used to call friends. See?
So, because they are also doing these habits, then that's why we became close, because together we were cultivating habits that were not beneficial for us. And over time, when you become more aware of, hey, this is actually not good for me, I want to get out, I want to do something better, then they see, oh, this is something foreign.
Unfamiliar. What's that?
Yeah, foreign.
I'm not used to that. You've changed
changed.
after that several times.
Yeah.
And people just get uncomfortable with the fact that you want to change. Because I think as a human, right, you are always evolving. Because, example, things that I used to think before when I was in my 20s or in my teenage years, valid, I'm never going to do that.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing it. It's just things that before that I think, hey, I'm not going to do that. Now it started to change because I believe our brain evolves as well.
Yep.
Like, even though the next 10 or 15 years, maybe things that I said now, it would be like contradict in the future. I don't know, because I think we evolve in a way, and change should be our friend.
Yep.
But people are so afraid of change.
People are so afraid of adapting to new changes.
Why is that?
Comfort.
Comfort.
Like, they're comfortable at where they are now, who their friends are, how their friends are, how their environment is, that they just feel they don't see the need for any changes. They don't see the need for any additional new things, loss of things. They just want it to stay the same. But comfort is such a negative thing.
Tell me, why is it a negative thing? Tell me why.
So, example, if I'm in a nice villa, amazing villa, great house, comfy
with
couch,
maid,
yeah, everything is done for me, but I still want to continue. I still have more things to achieve. This comfort that I'm living in, it is
Stopping
going
you.
to be tough for me. It's going to stop me. It's going to make me lazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to make me think that, oh, I can do this tomorrow. Procrastination.
True.
Yeah. It's such a negative thing if you don't have the discipline.
True.
Mm.
I think I agree. I agree with that. Comfort is good. Comfort is comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But to be able to grow, you have to get out of your comfort zone. I mean, everyone is so familiar with the concept. Okay, they keep saying that in motivational quotes whatsoever. But to be able to do it, being uncomfortable with your situations, it takes bravery, it takes courage
Mm-hmm.
because it's so uncomfortable. Like, for example, for me, comfort zones are silently killing you, your passion,
Yep.
your personal growth, because you can still grow even though you are 30, you are 40. There is no limit on what age you can stop growing. But what I see from my society is like, when you are 30, you stop growing. That's it. But actually, that is the age when you start to learn more about life. Life is really tough. And if you keep staying in a comfort zone, you're not going to learn anything.
Yeah.
Like, it's uncomfortable. So for example, if I had a situation where me and my husband were in very uncomfortable situation with financial, that taught us so much about life. And it's uncomfortable. Before we used to be able to afford buying, okay, we want a new TV, let's just buy it. You don't have to think 3 or 4 times. But then with situation that we used to have, the financial difficulty, it's uncomfortable. So, but it's also teaching us something.
Yep.
You know, and then we start to grow creatively. Okay, what do? Okay, we maybe start investing in this. We maybe start doing this, or whatever. You need to take more shift at work, things like that. And that keep us growing. That is just one example. And a lot of in personal growth, I think the darkest time in your life is not just about the darkest time. It's actually the time where you're gonna grow or shine bright, like the stars. For example, you cannot see the star if the sky is bright, but when the sky is really dark, then the star shines brightest.
So true. So true. And when you talk about uncomfortable, relating back to having people that we used to call friends or having people that we used to be close with, they are uncomfortable. They might be uncomfortable with the fact that we are doing things that they have never seen before. Or they might want to try that. They know that that is something good, but they are uncomfortable to pursue that themselves.
True.
So when they see someone, when they know that someone amongst them, close to them, doing that,
something different,
I want to do that, but why is she doing that first? What is that she's doing?
There comes jealousy. It's just weird how the people around us work, the people that we're familiar with. There's something needs to change about that. There is something, I mean, yeah, they say women support women, but then I don't really see that in my own circle. Like people that I mean, not now, previous. I don't really see that. If you keep doing the same thing like them, yes, you are in our circle. You're my best friends. We're doing this together. But then you started, no, I'm gonna leave my job. I'm gonna do something better. Then the judgment and the callings and everything is just like, what are you doing? Why are you ruining your life? Why are you ruining your life? Why are you doing? It's just because, like you said, something is really different from what they are familiar with. And somehow, somewhere, they just get uncomfortable seeing you doing that. Just like at that time when you do the same thing with them, same level, you are the best friends, you are my bestie, whatsoever. Then when you start elevating, you've lost them.
You've changed.
You've changed. What are you doing? Do you think you're better than us right now? When you just, exactly like you said, when it's different, when it's against the current, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? No,
But
I'm not.
sometimes you do need these people you used to call friends. Sometimes you do need them so that you're able to see, oh, these are things that I should get out of. So different paths, different steps of your life, different phases of your life, you meet different people. And these different people teach you things that whether it's good for you to learn or things that you should let go of. So when we started our personal development journey, when we started to want to be better women, we lost people, we cut off people that we think are not great for our journey, that does not understand boundaries, that crosses the line.
Boundaries.
Yeah. So we had to have them to know that we need this boundary set.
Is it difficult for you to set that boundaries? Or is it easy?
I need to know what boundaries I need to set. It's not just about saying no. What are you saying no to? So you need to be aware that this is something I need to get out of. So you start building that boundaries, creating that boundaries. So you need to have a level of awareness as well what you're saying no to. So let's say if I were to just put an example, if I want to change a new job.
Okay.
And my family doesn't agree with it. Why do you want to change a new job? You're comfortable there. You paid well. You already have a job. You need to be grateful
Why
for
do you need
that.
to change job?
Oh. And then your colleagues at work, at that same workplace that you want to get out of, why? Stay. Then who am I going to talk to? Girl, it's not about you.
It's not about you. It's about me. Yeah. That is weird for me, setting up boundaries.
Because sometimes like these words is like it impacts you, you know? Oh,
It does.
she wants me to stay. Okay, I'll stay. But then if you are aware that no, this is not for me, it's actually not about her.
Because people take it personally.
Yes.
About everything. And I think it takes courage and awareness to know that shit, I've got to level up. Something's got to change. Because I realize I want a change, but they don't want to change. You know what I mean? Like they want a big change in their life, like more money or more this or a happier life. But to be able to do that, you need to change. For example, if you are in a toxic relationship, in a married toxic relationship, you're married, either you stay or you go, right? Is there any other options?
No.
So if you want to level up again, you want to have a better quality of life, then you've got to let go of things that doesn't serve you anymore.
Sometimes letting go is hard. This is what I realized.
Let go is.
This is what I realized. Now,
Tell me.
Shadow working, before I started working on myself, my inner self, letting go of things that does not gives me any more purpose in life is so hard. Attachment is another negative word. Next, like comfort, attachment is after.
Letting go of things that are comfortable, especially, it's really difficult. I find it's really difficult, but it's needed because no one or nothing stays. Yeah. It's all temporary.
Yep.
What lasts forever?
Attachment is so unhealthy. Because it comes from your wounded self. And people don't want to let go because something is a trauma response.
It's a trauma response,
Yeah.
An unhealthy attachment styles. That what you're saying.
You need to understand that having attachment to people it means also depending on people, depending on certain situations. But the thing is, the only person you depend on is yourself.
Yeah, the only one at the end of the day who can help you, your hero is you.
Yeah.
No one else can. Even you have someone that you love, but the only one who can help you get out, who can help you to grow, who can help you is you.
Yeah.
You want, for example, this is maybe difficult for people to understand, but imagine this. You want to be fitter, say. You want to eat healthy, or you have to go to the gym, or Pilates, or whatever is that. If you don't do that thing yourself, right? Who's going to do it for you?
Yep.
It has to be you. The same with self growth. The problem with the self development, you cannot see it, but you feel it. People cannot see it, but the one that is doing improving themselves, they feel it.
It's a feeling.
You start seeing people differently. Don't you feel that when you are in this journey? Do you see people differently?
I don't see people differently. I feel people differently.
Like what?
So
examples.
For example, okay, let's take clubbing into context. Okay. So when we go to clubs, there is a variation of people. So sometimes someone goes to clubs because they just want to vibe with the music. They just want to get out and see what's up. But sometimes some people go to the club, they want to find other people.
Yeah, something else.
Yeah, something else.
There's hidden agenda to it.
Hidden agenda. So I feel that after leveling up, after being more aware of myself, I'm able to feel more
the energy of these people.
What people's agendas are.
What people want.
Just by being next to them, just by looking at them.
When I started this journey of improving myself, reading books or meeting people like you, for example, I started to see people that I hang out with. I mean, I can, it's not magic or something. I just have that feeling like, oh no, I'm not going to hang out with you. Or I feel uncomfortable sometimes with some people. Like, oh, I just want to get out of the situation. And that is weird because I didn't know where I get that, but I just feel it within me. Like there is some gatherings, a lot of people, family, friends, whatever. There are some people that I try to avoid. So you start to, so self-improvement journey is not just, oh, I'm better than you, or it's not about that actually.
Yeah.
It's about you taking care of yourself.
It's about controlling who's around you.
And as
whether
well,
you want to take in their energy or not, because sometimes, to be honest, being in a room of people that talks about other people negatively, it's pretty draining.
It is, of course.
You're not even involved, but it's so exhausting to hear. Why would they do that?
So that's why this journey teaches me a lot of I don't have a big circle of friends. I don't. And I think that is a part of it. You ask everyone who's doing the self development journey, like you said, they lost people along the way. It is lonely. It is a lonely journey sometimes.
I had an accident in Bali, in Canggu, 3 months back. I had an accident. I fell off a motorbike, went to the side. I don't know who to call. Because there's no one. I was like, I was just scrolling my phone. I don't know anyone. I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God. Then you still need someone.
I mean, I can't call my mom. She's all the way
That's
back
actually,
in Singapore.
look, this is, I heard this from someone before. She's fitness influencer, but really good one. She's very real. So she said, she was in a podcast interview. As they're talking about people who are close to her. Forget the money. Forget all of the material things that you can see from me. The most important thing is when I have an accident, I have people that I can count on. And she said it's less than, and but she has lots of clients and everything. And these people, her circle is really small. And your accent, of course, is different. It's a different story. But what she said, if I lost my money, if I lost everything, my businesses, the whole thing that she built, I still can count on these people. They're never going to leave me. I believe in that.
Quality over quantity. Yeah.
So exactly. And talking about that, making friendships when you were doing this journey is also difficult.
I do have friends now.
I see your post lately about self-awareness, right? And that's a very interesting concept, actually. Can you define more? Tell us more about self-awareness. What does it mean to you?
So when I started my personal development journey, I need to be aware of what I want and also what I'm experiencing at that point of time. So do you remember when you started your personal development journey? So what happened back then for me was that I was having a very tough year. I'm not sure if you remember the previous video. I lost my dad.
Yeah.
Just
divorce story.
1 month after I moved out with my ex. It was a tough year. So I locked myself up in the room, curtains closed, whole day doing
Dark
nothing.
times.
Yeah, dark times, dark environment. So I know that I had to change. I know that I want to be a better person. That's what I want. But to be a better person.
So that's a self-awareness itself.
Yeah. Being aware of what I want to be a better person, but being a better person is general. It's so huge. Like better person in what?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, but to be a better person, to feel like a better person, I needed to do something. So the first step I did is really baby steps, but those baby steps is something big for me at that point of time. Like I was depressed. I was gloomy. Yeah.
Gloomy days, grieving.
In my room. So what I did was the first
what was that?
Achievement for me was to get out of the room and take a hot girl walk.
So you had a walk.
I had a walk. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try this tomorrow. I did it tomorrow. I did it the next day. And it became consistent. So that was the start.
The little baby steps actually helping you to get through the day.
Correct. And if I did not have any self-awareness that I needed to feel better, that I needed to be better.
Makes sense.
I wouldn't be able to even get to the point that, hey, I need to take a hot little walk.
So that little steps, this is actually very important. This is what I realized. And actually that makes sense. You mentioned the little walk that you had. For me, if I was in that situation, dark times in my life also, the little baby steps will help me to get through the day and go towards the bigger goals, the better person. That's your goal, right? At that time. But without that little baby steps, you wouldn't be there.
Do you remember what was your little baby step?
Mine was actually getting out of bed.
That's the first start.
Getting out of bed and take a shower. That was the time when I had that dark times. I didn't want to. The only thing that I wanted to do was just sleep for like long hours of sleep. And getting out of bed felt like, oh, this is so difficult. What should I? But what Sha mentioned about that baby steps. So I got out of the bed and I had a shower. It helped me to feel slightly better compared to before I had a shower. So I think that little baby steps is actually the beginning, the pioneer part of self-development journey. Before the bigger part, the whole meditation, reading books or self-help books.
Yeah.
These baby steps is actually a very an important step towards the bigger self-development journey. Reading books and going to work out, or I think the baby step is actually self-care. What do you think?
Yep. And if you do notice, these little baby steps, like the beginning part of your personal development journey, it's always more physical. It's always more tactile.
Basic. Yeah.
It's not, I don't just jump straight
Makes sense.
to holistic awareness. Like, I don't just jump straight to meditation, breath work, mirror working, shadow working,
affirmation.
Yeah. I need to
True.
be aware of
That
what
makes
I need
sense.
to change. I need to build the habits. I need to cultivate the habits first before I just.
True.
Yeah.
Because it's, you mentioned it's physical. It's true. It's basic needs. Your basic, like, for example, what I did, I imagine mine was took a shower. Like, how simple that thing is. But when you are in that dark times, gloomy days, it can be very difficult to do. Like, your experience, had to walk to the shop, or just went to the shop,
or hard getting out of that room.
Getting out of that room.
Yeah.
So that is part of self. I think, oh my God, this is interesting. Self-awareness, knowing where you at and knowing where do you want to go, which is like difficult at that time. But then the next step would be taking that baby little steps.
And that baby little steps,
the physical steps, doing it like a baby steps, little by little, doesn't have to be forced.
And this phase is, the intent is to build habits, cultivate habits.
And then that becomes a habit, right? Habits, you kind of like replace the this is about self-development, replace the bad habits into healthier habits.
Yeah.
And then you get into the, what do you call, the middle journey of self-development.
Boosting your mindset.
Yeah, motivation, reading that book, podcast, mirror work, like you said. This is interesting. I think this episode can help people to know what kind of steps they need to do to start their self-development journey.
Oh, yeah.
And I think what Sha's point, starting with your self-awareness.
You need to understand what you want, what your current problem is, change from there.
And what you want, what is your problem there. It's more self-awareness, self-acceptance. Where am I right now? But then when you start doing all of that self-awareness thing, there will be a room for you to improve, which is called self-improvement. Because you start to know that we need something to change. That's it.
Yeah.
That is, look, thank you so much for this. This is important. I love this conversation because it's important. Imagine how many people out there struggle to start with this journey, getting better, be a better person's journey.
And some people don't start because they don't see how the journey is. So we get scared because of the uncertainty of the path that we're going to take. But it's really just this.
Actually, you can start making, I don't know, some sort of phases of self-development.
A little
baby steps. Yeah, that would be great.
Yep.
So thank you so much for being here again today. I love this episode as well. I think it will be great, and I think it will be valuable for everyone who wanted to start their self-development era. It's exciting. It's difficult. It's not easy. It's not for the weak, but it's going to change you. It's going to level up your mind game. So thank you for being here today again, and see you next time. Bye.